It throws some crazy heat. I think I'm gonna start cooking my leg here in a second. All right, what's going on, friends? In this video, I'm gonna show you how I assembled my 120,000 BTU diesel-powered Sunfire heater. They also have an 80,000 BTU and they have a 150,000 BTU heater just like this. The smaller one comes with like a 6-gallon tank on it. The larger one, the 150,000 BTU, comes with a 19-gallon tank. And this one, the one I have here, has a 14-gallon diesel tank in it. Now you can put kerosene, diesel, number 2 fuel oil in this. So you can put like 3 different types of fuel in there. Ooh, I don't know if I can keep standing right there. It's ridiculous hot. This thing is so crazy hot. I'm going to show you how to put this together, and I end up firing it up and running it outside just for a little while, just in case there's any kind of oils on there. In my other videos, I'm going to show you how I hook up this digital thermostat to it. You can run this on a thermostat so it won't cook you out of your garage or out of your shed or wherever you're running this thing. Probably a little bit too big for a shed, but if you have a big garage, if you have like a big, if you're building a house, this would be awesome, super awesome. It throws some crazy heat. I'm also gonna have a video showing you how hot I can get my garage here in like 1 hour. So this right here is the thermostat wire that it does come with. I'll show you where you put that in the next video. It's a bag here with the manual in it and some parts. I'm gonna show you how to put all these parts on. I don't think there's really a lot to putting this together. This looks like this is for the axle, the wheels, I think. Part of the heat shield right here. Careful you don't cut yourself on this aluminum. You got and then these are the wheels. These are really nice, heavy duty wheels on this one. Ooh, these are nice. We got Zerk fittings on them to grease them up. Made in the USA. I've gotten a lot of things made from China over the years. You can always tell the difference when you get something that is made in the USA. They say it has a 2-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, just like a car, so pretty much probably everything is covered for 2 years. Another nice thing they do have is they got free phone support the lifetime of you owning this heater. So if you have any questions about it, you can call them up anytime for the life of you owning this. This one is about 140 pounds. It slides right out. Really easy. I'm going to put it up on there. I don't know, my first impression is seeing this like up close and personal. This thing is built like a beast. I did see maybe some of you guys doing some research. There's another YouTuber out there that picked this up on their skidster and just dropped it like 8 feet, hit the ground, and then they still lit it up and it fired up after they dropped it. This thing is built awesome. Let me remove this label so I don't forget. Okay. All right, these are some of the other parts that come with it. Looks like a couple feet. I know this is a handle. That's that thermostat wire I showed you. A little bag of bolts and nuts. It even does come with a little 9/16 inch wrench. And it looks like an extra little, I think you call that the nozzle for spraying the fuel. And really nice manual. In big letters, no gasoline. Do not put gasoline in this. That's way different than diesel. But you can put diesel, number 2 heating oil, or kerosene in this. I recommend reading through this manual if you do end up getting one of these. 125 pounds when you have an empty tank. When you fill that tank up, this thing's going to weigh 220 pounds. You can put 14 gallons of diesel in the tank. The 80,000 BTU holds 6 gallons of diesel, quite a bit smaller, but you can burn the same oil in that. Number 2, or diesel, number 2 heating oil, or kerosene. All right, first step is to flip it over upside down. Multiple times in here. This is considered the dome. Do not roll it over on this dome. Use some of this cardboard that came with it. All right, now we're going to need a 7/16 and a 1/2 inch wrench, and we're going to take these 2 little bolts out, or just take the nut off and the spacer out. 7/16 down the 1/2 inch. Don't lose it. There's a lock washer and a nut on there, and this little spacer. We don't need the spacers anymore, so don't worry about them. You're still going to need this little bag of parts. We can put this up here, down over them bolts. Put that lock washer on, and then the nut. Same on this side. Tighten them up. Check it with my wrench. I don't gotta go super tight. This is just a little hollow pipe here. The leg here is just hollow, so I think you could eventually start crushing that, so don't go crazy. All right, now you're still gonna need 2 bolts, and there's just 2 regular washers, and you got 2 lock washers and 2 nuts. You're gonna put that washer on the bolt, washer on like that, yep. Then the lock washer and the nut. Same thing on this side. Put the washer on the bolt through here. Now if you're following along in the manual, I'm on step 3. Now we're just going to put these little feet on the bottom. They screw right in here. You can tighten that little nut up, screw that in. Now that's made so you can adjust this so it sits level. Just like that. All right, now we got to go on the other side of the heater. I think I'm just going to spin this around. Oh, look at that, real easy. This next step is pretty similar to that first step. We just got to put this piece here on here. Same thing. Got to take off these 2 nuts, lock washers, the spacers. You don't need the spacers. Same as the first round. So spacer off. And watch these bolts. They can fall right out. A little different than the other side. They stayed in place. If you're having trouble lining them up, just try to move it around a little bit, and that might help. Now, just like the other side, I'm going to need 2 lock washers, 2 bolts, 2 nuts, just 2 of the regular washers. So we'll put that regular washer over the bolt, slide it through, lock washer, nut. Same thing on the other side. All right, next step, put on the wheels. Now these wheels do go on a certain way. Pretty much if you see the little Zerk fitting there, that's going to face out. This side here has a little raised spot. That raised spot's going to go in. You might need a little rubber mallet. Probably definitely going to need a rubber mallet for you'll take 2 of these caps like this. It looks like it comes with 1 extra one, but they're going to go over the end of that axle. Just like that. Perfect. Then just do the other side the same way. Oh, that one slid right on. All right, now we're all finished on the bottom, hooking the legs and the wheels on. Now we can flip it back up on its wheels and the legs, but do not flip it on top of the dome. It says that multiple times in here. This is considered the dome. Do not roll it over on this dome. I'm just going to spin this thing back around and then flip it the other way. Yeah, so far this thing is going together easy. It's really easy to assemble. And it does have a handle back here in the back. Piece of Velcro holding it down. Undo that. And this just pops up. Oh, right into place. Cool. Just like that. You can wheel it around. And that makes this moving easy. Put it right back down. Strap it in. All right, next step will be to put this little protective heat shield part that goes right over the front of this. It says Sunfire on it, but I don't seem to have it. I don't know where it's at. I can't find it in the box. So I just ended up calling them, but it is the weekend, and it says on there that they will get back to me probably Monday anyway, the beginning of the week. So hopefully they'll probably just send me one of them out. But right now I can't find it. But I can run that without it, so it's really not that big a deal. But I'm sure they'll send me one of them out right away. If you do have that part, it looks really simple. There's 2 bolts right here. There's like this aluminum piece here on top. You take them 2 bolts out, it looks like. Yes. and that's where you will put that Sunfire shield that goes right out over the front. There's 2 bolts on each side. Now I have a 5/16 inch socket in here, and I'm going to put this heat shield right up over top of this. I'm going to use these there's tiny little silver screws there. You're going to use them screws. It's going to go in each one of these holes. Get started. All right, don't strip it out. I just recommend tighten it and just stop when you see it like bottom out. Easy peasy. Now you just need these 2 pieces and this piece, and you're going to need 2 shorter bolts. Then you're going to need 2 nuts, 2 washers, 2 lock washers, like before. So you'll put them on like that. This piece in the middle, bolt. You're going to put a washer over that little bolt first. Stick it through that hole, through the other hole. And you want a lock washer and a nut. 7/16 and a 1/2 inch. Definitely tight. Okay, there we go. Now that right there is the handle, mainly for if you have like a machine or something, you want to put a chain around that to pick it up, put it on your truck, your trailer. That's kind of what that's for. All right, that's about it. That's pretty much how you assemble this thing. Next thing I'm going to do, we're going to fill this up, put maybe a couple gallons of diesel in there. I'm going to take this outside. I'll show you how to prime it, and I'll show you how it starts up, and we'll try to burn this for a little bit outside, make sure if there's anything that is on the metals, it burns off outside of my garage. Put that box right there. So I think that is an awesome thing on this, but it has a gauge on it so you know how much diesel you'll have in there, or kerosene, whatever you end up putting in. All right, right up on top here, it tells you how to start this up. And it does say right here, fill with at least 5 gallons of diesel or kerosene. Take this awesome safety thing off. All right, that should be good. Now I'm going to pull this outside and we'll burn it for a little while. And I have to get an extension cord. So you're going to need a decent extension cord, something with a ground on it. All right, first I'm going to plug this in. Now it says that we have to prime it right over here. There's a button right here to prime it. And now you're going to hear the fuel pump. I'm going to push that button in. It's right there. You're going to hear the fuel pump start to prime it. And then it will kind of go quiet, I guess. Ooh, that was loud. I wanted to see if I could see any fuel. Oh, there's some fuel coming in that fuel line. Now it sounds better. Pump will become quiet. Now I think we can just turn this on. See what happens. Ooh, there we go. Sweet. You can definitely see the flame in there. I'm going to sit here and warm up. Ooh, that feels good. I think I'm going to let this run for a good, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. I just recently did a video on, it was a small little propane heater, like a torpedo heater, and that thing gave off more carbon monoxide than this. And it was in safe levels, but I just want to show you what this looks like. All it's reading right now is 9, 8, 9, 8. It's definitely clean burning. That's how much carbon monoxide it's given off. That's really, really good. All right, well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to help support this channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of this. I will have a link to this down in the description. Just want to warn you, it's really not a cheap heater, but it is built like a beast. And it is made in the USA. It is awesome. It's definitely probably the coolest heater I've ever ran here in my garage. Puts out way more heat than any of the other heaters I got. Thanks for watching.